What's going on, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer, back at you with another video. Today's episode is brought to you by The Gap, and we've got a new beer to try out here, Blood Moon, Whitewater Brewing, Blood Orange Sour. Some kind of, if it's a sour beer, I don't know. Just the can looks cool. Kind of like when you go to the LCBO in Canada and you're looking at the wine, and it's always the most attractive bottle that grabs your attention. It's usually the shittiest wine, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. This was brewed locally, I think. Where was it brewed? Yeah, Whitewater, not too far from where I live. So let's check it out. And I got an interesting topic. Well, I wouldn't say it's interesting, but it is for this channel. I don't think I've ever talked about it before. And we're going to talk about microtransactions. And the reason why I bring that up, I'll let this sort of sit, is because I don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to microtransactions. The games that I generally play don't have microtransactions, loot crates, and things of that nature. But I do want to talk about how I was sort of introduced to microtransactions back in the day when I picked up this game, about 10 years old now, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the reimagining of Hot Pursuit on the Xbox 360. You could call it DLC, you can call it microtransactions, but in the game, you know, you could purchase extra tracks or extra cars. You could get the Ferrari pack, the Porsche pack, etc. And it really pissed me off because I had the vanilla game, and then you had to buy all the extras again via microtransactions. So I went out and I sought out the limited edition copy of the game, which I thought had all the microtransactions baked on the disc, and unfortunately it doesn't, so screwed either way. So that was my first sort of taste of, or you could say bad taste of what microtransactions can do to a game. And then we move on to more modern games, and that's what I want to talk about today. Take a sip of this beer here. Oh yeah, she's sour. She's sour. Didn't mean to buy that. So the reason why I bring this up is this is getting somewhere. Microtransactions. Now you look at a game like this, and it's an awesome game. I'm having a blast with it. This is the deluxe edition. But as far as I'm aware, there are still some microtransactions in this game now. EA is no stranger to microtransactions. So EA Sports, Electronic Arts, they're one of the usual suspects, and we're going to get into a few more in a moment here. Now, Rockstar, this is Red Dead Redemption 2. Believe it or not, the single-player campaign in this game, there's not really a lot of microtransactions. None that really jumped out at me like, you know, buy this now. I didn't see any. So you can knock Rockstar all you want. At least when it comes to the single-player campaign, they're not throwing the microtransactions down they're not shoving it down your throat. And we don't have to worry about single player downloadable content because clearly Rockstar has abandoned that idea or that notion. They're all about the multiplayer. So that's unfortunate. I'd like to get some single player campaigns on this. But like I said, when you're going through the open world, there's nothing that's really disrupting the experience or the immersion of the game, so I can really appreciate that. But then you get to a game like I'm playing right now. I know I've been talking about this game a lot lately, Far Cry 5, and it's an awesome game, don't get me wrong, but again, Ubisoft, one of the prime offenders. There's one section in the game where I walked into like a bar, and there was this a Far Cry arcade cabinet right in the bar. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. I walk up to it, you know, press whatever button is on the controller to activate the arcade. I think it's the X button. And next thing you know, a screen pops up asking me to sign up for Xbox Live Gold. It's like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Like, can you imagine this game 25 years from now, 20 years from now? I boot up, at that point it'll be a retro console, boot up my Xbox One. You probably won't even be able to download that content anymore, so it's going to be just a buggy mess. You're going to have, you know, transactions in game that don't even work anymore if you can wrap your head around that. And I've noticed a few other microtransactions in this game as well. And that for me just kills it. Like, is it going to ruin this game for me? No. Does it bug the hell out of me that there's microtransactions in it? Yes, absolutely. I'd rather just take that shit out of the game or give it to us as part of the, full retail price of this game when you bought it, because a lot of these microtransactions, they're put in there obviously for added revenue for the company. And can you blame Ubisoft for doing that? Well, if it's legal to do that, can you actually blame them? It's a cash cow. So, I guess you can't really blame the corporation. I mean, like I said, if it's a cash cow and they're in the business to make money, I guess they have to do what they have to do. But man, the people out there, the suckers that keep paying for this stuff, they're just enabling these corporations to constantly throw these microtransactions at us. And I read online, a couple of publications were praising this game for dialing back on the microtransactions. I'm like, really? The Outer Worlds, this is a good example. There wasn't really a lot in the way of microtransactions in this game, so no problems here. And then just to give you another example, back in the day, like 15, 20 years from now, you have a game like this, The Warriors. Interesting enough, I haven't actually played this yet. I've had my collection for a year. I highly doubt there's any microtransactions in this game. Back in the day, you bought a game and the whole goddamn game was on the disc. You got what you paid for. And nowadays, like I said, with as an example, Far Cry 5, man, nothing pisses me off more than when you're in the world there and you have to pay to play. I can't stand that. Another game that comes to mind was Need for Speed Most Wanted. Not the original Most Wanted, but the other one that came out around 2012, 2013. That was another one also as well. What was the other racing game there where you're on the island? Burnout Paradise, another one. You go so far on the map and then you'd hit like a roadblock and it wouldn't let you go up this road unless you bought the extra content. Same with Need for Speed Most Wanted. It was like there's certain areas of the map you're completely cock blocked and you couldn't even go up a canyon or near a riverbank unless you unlocked the extra track. Just shit like that just pisses me off. So like I said, we're going to see it more and more and more as the years go on. But I know Ubisoft is one of the worst offenders of microtransactions, and Activision, a company that I don't have very many Activision games in my collection, to be honest with you. I know they're one of the worst offenders out there as well. But like I said, more than anything, it just breaks the immersion. Like I said, nothing worse than immersing yourself in this huge open world environment, and then all of a sudden you got to get your credit card out. Man, I can't stand that. It's just brutal. And like I said, these companies, let's not get it twisted. All these microtransactions, all this content, for the most part, was completed and developed before the launch of the game. And they're holding back content to sucker us out of more money. So it's extremely unfortunate. It's not going to go away anytime soon. And honestly, I think microtransactions should be illegal. I don't think, that shit should even be in the game. It's basically, it's almost like gambling, and it's like, you have a kid, for an example, maybe an underage kid that doesn't have a credit card, and they grab, mommy's credit card or daddy's credit card, and they start purchasing these microtransactions. It's just brutal. So, like I said, have you guys, a game like this, did you guys run into any issues with microtransactions? What about this game as well? You guys playing this one online? I know Grand Theft Auto 5, I hate to keep bringing that one up. I know there was a lot of microtransactions in that one on the online mode, of course. So that's going to do it. Just a short rant. Just want to get your guys' thoughts on microtransactions as well. Leave it in the comments below. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Just packing this PlayStation Classic up. Going to ship it out to my buddy there, Baltimore Retro Gaming. We're going to do a little bit of a trade. He's going to surprise me with something as well. Yeah, wasn't really playing it, so she's got to go. Can't sit on the shelf collecting dust.